Welcome back to
the Zak
and Buzz
Review! And it's back to Hot D.
Hot D.
That's it.
Hot D.
Hot D, which
Yes.
stands for
The House of the Dragon.
House
of
the
the
Dragon.
Dragon.
Series 2,
Series 2.
Episode 3.
The Burning Mill.
The Burning.
And we found out it was the Burning Mill right at the beginning because
Yes.
two different houses decided to end up. One was
Fighting each other.
Sold with the other. They've obviously had a feud going on for centuries. And then there was. This is the thing with this episode. Right from the start, the props department really pulled all the stops.
Yes.
Okay, because they must have had to make so many. I'm
bodies.
sure a lot of those dead bodies were probably.
Everybody's dead.
They weren't real people.
No. But you know when we were on there and they replicate crowd replication,
yeah.
They probably did crowd replication with some of the things, but they did have a lot of dead cadavers everywhere,
Cadavers
that they had to make, as well as the prop department later on had some other rather interesting props they had to make in a whorehouse.
My eyes!
Dear.
Yes, there was a rather large prop, one might say.
That must have been a prosthetic.
Yeah, it was definitely a prosthetic, and somebody in the property department had to make that, and because
I think the internet would say at the moment, Hoctor!
Octa! Spin on that thing!
Get me!
It's probably. I bet they did that on set. Mind they could have done it on set.
They could. That would have been in the past.
It would have been in the past. But yes, Octa! That's it.
We're not reviewing that. We're reviewing House of the Dragon.
but being as the amount of times over the years that we've both been put forward by agents to do.
Be careful what you're going to say now.
Well, to do the
Do what?
To do the sort of whorehouse scenes and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Where they want you to do this stuff. And I just saw that scene and I just thought, I wonder which lady sort of said, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that scene.
It's a featured role,
It's a featured role. You'll get an extra £250 for that one.
I'm gonna be a star!
You know? Anyway.
I'm not going to go into specifics on that.
Just yeah. I think Hawk 2 says it all really. Anyway, so this one, I've got to say, if you haven't already noticed this in my reviews or our reviews, I'm useless with remembering the names. When it comes to Hot D, their names left, right, and centre, and so I'm just going to muddle my way through.
Okay. So who's the main Targaryen person?
The main Targaryen person.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, the lady?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's the daughter of the previous king who's died. So she's
Rhaenyra.
Okay, she's that one.
Say the name.
She's the Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra. I don't know.
Rhaenyra.
I've worked with her, but I can't remember the character's name.
Rhaenyra.
Okay. Well, anyway, she still wants the throne because.
Yeah. Well, you have the fallout of the last episode with the two twins, and she's kind of buried them.
She's buried them, and she's now taken on board.
She hatches a plot to go and see Alicent Hightower.
Well, she's taken on board the lady who she ran
the White Worm.
The White Worm, who was from
who's like the Master of Whisperers,
King's Landing, and so she is now kind of working for her. And as she said, she's the only person who's actually shown any kind of kindness, if you want, and tolerance. Yeah, because if it would have been the other lot, she would have been killed. Yeah. So she helps to arrange for her to go and see her friend,
The Lady Alicent Hightower.
the queen,
almost friend,
the Dowager Queen, isn't it?
The Queen Mother, I guess.
Yeah, Queen Mother, who's been banging Sir Lancelot or whatever his name is.
Kristen Cole.
That's it, Kristen Cole.
Who is now the Hand of the King.
Who's the Hand of the King and is going to war and taking her brother with him, and then they get chased by a dragon.
Who's ridden by Baela.
Yeah, Baela.
Who's the daughter of Daemon, who was married to the girl who was initially going to marry Viserys, but then married Daemon instead because Viserys married Alicent.
I'm so confused.
If you're confused, you will be. Okay, so anyway, I don't know. Mr. Clubfoot was hanging about in the background again.
Lyris.
They haven't really shown him being annoyed that he hasn't been given the hand. Yeah. The hand of the king.
Well, he's now the Master of Whisperers for Aegon, isn't he?
Yeah, and that was the big penny drop. Because the two main ladies meet at the temple of the
Sept.
The Scepter. Is it of the mother? I don't know. Anyway, so they get to meet there, and suddenly the penny drops. It turns out that the king on his dying bed didn't say that Aegon, is it Aegon?
Aegon, yeah.
Aegon should be king. He was just
recounting
the story.
Song of Ice and Fire.
And she suddenly realised, you got it wrong. That's not what you were saying.
But then she doubled down on the fact that she was right.
And
it's like,
she
no.
doesn't. But she doesn't know
Doesn't know. Rhaenyra said to her, like, he was talking about the Song of Ice and Fire, and then she was like blankly looking like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? No, he was definitely talking about
he
my
was
son.
definitely talking about my son. He's king. There you go.
And your point was the story. The story of Ice and Fire is on the dagger.
My big thing with this scene, other than the fact of the kind of semi-implausibility of this, like, meeting happening,
walking into
beyond
King's
that,
Landing.
like, an instant proof of what Rhaenyra was saying would be the dagger. Check out the dagger.
Just read the dagger.
Read the dagger with fire around it. Heat it up, like in the season 1. It's got the Song of Ice and Fire on it.
Yeah,
that's proof. He was talking about Aegon the Conqueror,
not her son. So that was the big penny drop.
Yeah, it was a big misunderstanding.
Yes.
But she doubled down on it, and things are the way they're set in motion. War is coming.
And we had Doctor Who. He went off to Harrenhal.
He did.
He
met the guy from Penny Dreadful, didn't he?
Yes, which was nice to see that actor in something.
But Harrenhal's obviously very
Harrenhal's a bit knackered,
soggy.
And he's kind of having kind of dreams, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he was stalking around Harrenhal, carrying a sword in a very weird way. You know, but there you go.
Yeah.
That's just the way we come about it, being swordsmen. Anyway, so whatever.
Dragons look cool.
So he's there with his dragon.
He's trying to organise like an army.
Harrenhal. Wants to sort of bolster the defensive of Harrenhal. Meanwhile,
Kristen Cole is obviously
trying to get there to take over the Riverlands.
Yeah, that's the key to the Riverlands is Harrenhal. So we're gonna have some kind of big battle.
Yeah.
At some point during this season.
I'm missing the seeing the big dragons at the moment.
Yeah, we didn't see Vhagar.
Don't see Vhagar.
And I continue to bloomin' attest, where is Vermithor?
That's right, he was there.
He was there
in a cave.
Much like the Balrog in bloomin' Lord of the Rings, which is coming soon, that we have to do reviews on.
Definitely.
You saw the Balrog going "Ruh" in the trailer. You saw the Balrog go "Ruh" in season 1. But that's it.
We want more.
Want more.
More dragons. They're more of the bigger dragons. Talking about dragons, they took small dragons off. And they took the eggs.
Ah, the eggs.
The eggs.
That was a good point.
Yes.
So they went off to Dawn to kind of escape the problems.
To make sure that the dragons are safe and the eggs are safe.
And it's also kind of like an insurance policy as well.
Yep.
Kind of like, if this all goes to... If
everything goes
SHIT,
wrong,
then...
Goes down the proverbial plug hole.
Yeah, you've got these dragon eggs and you're safe. And you can kind of... continue.
Take it from there.
Yeah.
And of course, those eggs, I assume...
Those eggs have been confirmed as being...
The ones that...
Daenerys Targaryen.
The ones that Daenerys
Although
gets.
there were 4.
There were 4, so something's obviously going to happen
to one.
One of them.
Yeah, so there you go. So, what else are we going for?
There was no crossbow controversy in this episode.
No crossbow controversy, no.
Bit of fast travel, still.
Yeah.
Armour.
They do love their plastic armour, okay? Been on set, been in the props department, they do like, and I think it's actually pretty good for what they make.
It's very good armour.
But you know, I mean,
it looks good.
We both wear steel plate armour.
Yeah.
And it's like
they're wearing it all the blooming time.
How are they connecting it? Because there's no visible straps.
Yeah, no buckles.
And then his bever.
At one point,
his bever is over underneath his spaulder, isn't it?
One's over the top, one's
underneath, and it's
kind
like,
of.
And I'm thinking they're either velcroing them on or hooking them because they're just like that's just niggles on props, you know.
Picky.
The amount of money they spend on them.
They look great.
They look great,
honestly, but everyone's wearing armour all the time.
Yeah, they're just wearing armour, and then when they take their armour off, going back to the brothel scene. The very skinny actors.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was the thing. The reason I never get chosen for being one of the guards
Likewise.
is because my shoulder width and everything is way too big.
Yeah.
And
you'd think that you'd want your soldiers to be big.
They make all the costumes like with the stormtroopers in Star Wars.
That's a very good equivalent.
I could never. When I worked on Rise of Skywalker, I say it, I couldn't be a stormtrooper too big. So that was why I was a creature performer. But the stormtroopers, you can't be a stormtrooper unless you've got a maximum of a 42-inch chest. Anything bigger than that, you're not going to get the costume.
Yep.
Hence, you couldn't be a stormtrooper either.
I'm too big to be a stormtrooper.
Too big. And on Game of Thrones, or in the House of the Dragon, Hot to D, all the armour, when you see them take their armour off, they're very small people.
And that was another comment on the armour, is the fact that the helmets are like skin tight to their heads.
Uh-huh.
It's like, this ain't going to protect you against nothing.
'cause
Just because it's armour, it hasn't got the shock absorption.
Normally, you'd have at least a coif, a padded coif.
Yeah, to kind of take the impact out.
But
these are just slip-on.
Slip-on
Slip-on helmets without buckles around the chin.
So as soon as a sword or an axe hits you, that's going to buckle into your skull.
That's not great.
That's not a good feeling, you know. But it looks,
I'm still alive!
But it looks good. But
yeah, it looks good.
But yeah, so overall, this episode...
Okay, again, much like the second episode, I feel like...
Yawn.
Majoritively it was filler for things to come.
Just moving the story along a bit.
Yeah. It was like, there was nothing overly dramatic that happened in it. The most dramatic thing that's happened the entire season has been the assassination of the heir to the throne, essentially. But we haven't had anything as shocking or as striking since that point.
No, I think the most shocking part of it was the full frontal of...
oh, yeah.
Whatchamacallit, whatever his name is. One-eyed man. Amond. Yes, it's like,
Almond.
Almond. Please go eat some pies. And go and work on pumping some iron, because you really need to build yourself up, mate.
Why is everyone so skinny?
We ain't had nothing but maggoty bread.
They are so skinny.
Yeah.
Costume departments. They don't fit the costume, can't get the job. There you go. Simple.
And thus is the ruthlessness of the film industry. Okay, out of 10.
Love the film industry. Don't get me wrong, we love the film industry.
Oh, yeah.
Out of 10. For this episode, it's just a meter. I'll give it 5. It was moving things along, but there wasn't, for me, any standout parts.
Other than, obviously, you know...
the standout parts. Yeah, there was one big standout part.
I don't want to get too monetized.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Spit on that thing.
I think that reference just sums it up.
Oh yeah, that sums up this episode. Really. I think if anybody is going to work the following day, standing next to the coffee machine, I bet you 10 to 1 that was the only scene that they were talking about. Yeah. But that's Game of Thrones and Hot D for you.
Yeah. Game of Thrones. I think there's only going to be 8 episodes of season 2.
Hot D. Okay.
So
we're halfway through.
Almost halfway through.
Dun, dun, dun.
I hope things kick into gear the next episode, because otherwise it's going to be a very good example of stuff happens in the first episode, stuff happens in the last episode, the rest is just filler, and I hope that is not the case.
Well, if it's going to go the distance like Game of Thrones, then you really need to have like a build up to the first engagement of war. Yeah. But you know, we've been to the wall once. We've had kind of tentative, you know, mentions of places
are growing. Yes.
But you know, if Hot D is going to continue series after series, they really need to kind of spend a bit more time.
I think it's 5. I think it's going to be 5 seasons.
5, and this is season 2. So okay, we'll see. You know.
Did I rate it out of 10? I can't remember.
I give it 5.
I'm going to go about the same. I think, to be honest, it's kind of...
It was an enjoyable watch.
Yeah.
Just moving the story along.
Yeah, I think 5 because stuff happened really good in the first episode. Kind of the fallout in episode 2, and this was just kind of filler to just drive the story along.
Yes, with just one stand up.
Stop
it there. Stop it there. Okay, end. Right.
If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe to this channel and comment below any suggestions of further reviews you'd like to see.
See you next one, Hot D fans.